Paul, Gaynor, appreciate you joining us today. So right to it, man, how do you define success?
My biggest understanding of success would be my lifestyle. I enjoy my family, I enjoy my time away, I enjoy work, so I think that's part of being successful. You got to enjoy what you do, but I enjoy the fact that I can break away and have time with my family.
What's a commonly held belief in being successful that you passionately disagree with?
You have to go to college to be successful. I know a lot of people that didn't go through that process, didn't go to college and are successful, but they were driven. They are higher educated by reading books, by being around people. It's not for everyone, and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. You know, at what point did you realize I am at a level of success that from what I've done?
This year was the first year I actually went for a loan for a commercial application to build my soon-to-be new office and headquarters. And then this same year I was able to go for a loan and buy a essentially dream property and build a dream home of mine, which those are milestones for people. You know, maybe they get to do one of those things in their lifetime.
You know, being that we're kind of on the subject and you've got to a point through these hard times that most people have struggled through, what would you tell somebody to stop doing?
I think you have to get past yourself. I think you have to be confident in yourself.
Well, you've done, there's a balance to being too confident.
You can be confident in yourself. You just can't be conceited. You can't think that you're the best.
Sure.
But you can definitely be confident in yourself.
What is something you would give them advice to do that they're not doing? Something they should start doing if they're not?
One of my biggest successes is relationships. Employers to employees to anybody. It was just building relationships and not burning bridges and just always maintaining relationships. I don't advertise, hardly anything, and it's all based on relationships and referrals.
Have you ever thought about not working for a company after you had a company, you were successful, or I'm not happy, or I'd rather work for somebody than figure it all out on my own? Has there ever been a point where you thought about not being an entrepreneur anymore?
When I worked for somebody, I was worrying about somebody else's money. And it's not my money, so I'm spending somebody else's money to correct an issue, or maybe it was my issue or whatever. But now I work for myself, and it's my solution, it's my idea, it's my way of correcting it, and I feel good about it. The most common thing you'll probably hear is you wish somebody did it earlier.
What is the ultimate goal from here to where you see yourself, to where you say, you know what, I did it, I'm happy, this is the point I want to be at for myself, my family, my company?
Having a company that runs itself and I'm still the head of, and I don't have to be in the daily grind.
So you still have the control.
Yeah.
You still have the decision-making and the responsibility of the company, but it's not necessarily your responsibility day to day. What is a commonly held belief that you passionately disagree with when it comes to contractors and construction that you see?
People think we make money hand over fist. We earn our money, and it's typically not hand over fist. We take a lot of losses. We take a lot of lumps along the way. People think that I'm making wilds amount of money, and it's not the case. That's my cost of doing business. Is there somebody else that's cheaper that has a less of a cost to do business? Yes.
Right.
Is their quality as good as mine? Maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's something I've learned as well just over the years is someone who may charge less may have more profit in doing a lesser job to someone who it may cost them more to do the job, but they've got coordination, they have planning, there's all these things. They don't even make as much as the guy who's cheaper makes, and they're charging more. Because of the level of quality they're trying to offer and bring to the table.
There's a difference between a guy that has an office and several staff members to the guy that's working out of the back of his truck.
What is something that you've learned over the years in employing trustworthy quality in the contractors and the trades that you hire to represent your company?
Do some due diligence in front and try and track down to see if they're legitimate and all those things. But I've always based my business on relationships. So I can trust them, so I can call them in the middle of the night if I need to, or if I, not that I want to, but there's occasions where you might need a favor. If you have that kind of trade base, which I think everybody wants as a contractor, it makes life a lot easier.
What's the worst thing you've ever dealt with in the field in your business or in your operation?
I was working and I was an assistant superintendent, and we had strung up some temporary railing across a structure that we had just built. It was like a 125,000 square foot warehouse. There's a second story, and we're pouring the deck on the second story, and the boom trunk was laid its arm on that railing, and there was a guy. The railing was interconnected a couple hundred feet long, so this guy's a couple bays down, leaning on the railing.
Now, how high is this up? 2 stories?
2 stories. So he ends up dropping the boom on there and pops the cable loose, so it now gave it slack and dropped the guy off the second story.
Holy cow!
Because he was leaning up, so he leaned up, he leaned right out the window.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I think he broke his arm, and that was the scariest thing to me because it was the first accident I've ever dealt with on a construction site.
If you didn't do what you do now, what would Paul Gaynor be doing in his life? What gets you going? What's something you could see yourself doing?
Working out, health type situation. So I think maybe I would be
a bodybuilder model.
Maybe a trainer of some sort. I don't know.
Cool. What's something you leave us with that may inspire or encourage somebody that's helped you along the way?
I think it's, if you have the drive, and obviously if you're watching this and if you're trying to learn from this, you have the drive already. That is key. Being confident in yourself and being confident in your abilities. That's it.
Awesome.
People will pay you for it.
Well, glad to have you.
I appreciate it, and I'm honored that you decided to.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.